All right. Well, today's gonna be an interesting day. It's Monday, which means we've got a little bit of box office to talk about. We're gonna take a look at a couple of things on LRMonline.com, and then Kyle's gonna rant because physical media, you guys have all but killed it for sure, and it's not a good thing. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Daily Cup of Genre here on the Genreverse YouTube channel and Genreverse Podcast Network, available on all of your favorite podcast apps. Give us a subscribe here on the Genreverse YouTube channel. Lots of great content. Daily COG, Breaking Geek Radio, Anime-Versal, all sorts of anything and everything covered in entertainment, news, reviews, and whatnot here, all on one space. And if you like audio format, all of our podcasts, basically anything that a reaction video, goes up there. We do have merch. Please do see the red bubble link in the description box below. Support the channel, support the podcast, and wear some cool swag or drink out of some cool mugs. All those prints available, all sorts of things. And of course, LRMonline.com every day for all written news, reviews, celebrity interviews from LRM YouTube channel, and more. I'm Kyle. Missed a couple of days last week. My wife and I were in a vehicle accident last Wednesday, and trying to recover, still dealing with some issues, and yeah, I do want to talk today. But before I talk today, we got to go around LRMonline.com, right? Every day, all entertainment news needs opinions, like I said. We cover everything: games, hoity-toity stuff, celebrity interviews, and even conventions, of course. And a couple of the stories that I picked, being selfish, I picked one that I wrote myself, dealing with the announcements Crunchyroll made for content coming up at New York City New York Comic Con, not New York City Comic Con, but New York Comic Con. One that I'm super stoked about, of course, is Classroom of the Elite Season 3. This is what started us doing reactions on the channel for anime. Someone suggested it during Season 2, and we love this series. It was a lot of fun. Check out our reviews for Season 1 and our Season 2 reactions and reviews. Spice and Wolf is something I've not seen, but they did release a new trailer. Several shows got trailers. Seventh Time Loop Villainous enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. There's been a lot of villainous anime recently. My wife and I even enjoyed. It was an isekai. I'm the villainous, so I married the final boss, or something like that. It was a ridiculous title, like many of these are, but it was actually a fun watch. Yeah, it was fun. Anyways, Foolish Angel Dances with the Devil, coming soon. Many of these are just either coming soon or hey, coming 2024. The only one that got an actual medium hard date was Classroom, coming in January. So that will definitely be on our Wednesday. Wednesday. What do I mean Wednesday? That will definitely be in our winter reaction series. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it for that. There was more announcements that you guys can find, full lists at, of course, Crunchyroll.com. And another story from LRMonline.com related to the box office. The Marvel's long-term tracking, not so hot. Box Office Pro put out long distance. You know, this movie comes out in November. Opening forecast range right now, long range, $50-75 million. This movie allegedly cost $270 million to make. They're predicting a domestic total under $200 million. Now, that's rough. And the first movie made bank. It did real well. Overseas, it made over $700 million and $400 million here in the domestic market, if I'm not mistaken. And it made over $1 billion, right? This is going nowhere near that. If it did cost roughly $270 million, then we're looking at needing approximately 540, let's just say between 550 and 600 million dollars made worldwide for that to become profitable. That's that rough math that we use, and every movie is different, where you take the production budget plus multiply that by 2 for press and publicity and all the stuff that goes, advertising that goes into it, flying the celebrities around, putting them up in hotels and whatnot. You take all that together and you say, okay, this is your break-even point. It's just a rough estimate. Some movies get better profit sharing early in their release, later in their release. It's confusing. But anyways, remember when I was like, man, I don't know how much money we're going to make over 2022 because of, I don't know how well these movies are going to perform. Well, there's the Marvels for you. It doesn't look so hot. And it's not just the Marvels itself, it's Marvel in general. I think a lot of people are finally starting to feel like I have throughout all of Phase 4. I think it's finally starting to get to more where it's like, okay, I'm done being smacked in the face with garbage. I'm not seeing this one. So, looking at the weekend box office before we get into my rant, a weird one, concert film. That's the biggest one. One of the biggest openings we've had in quite a while. And the second biggest opening in October since Joker back in 2019. So yeah, we actually had a half decent weekend box office thanks to that at 135 million here in the domestic area. That's North America. Exorcist, solid showing, 58% drop over the weekend. Paw Patrol hanging in there on a 38% drop, going down to third place. Saw X, once you get down to these ones, the percentages really don't start mattering. They don't matter as much with such a low amount. But you got Saw X and The Creator rounding out the top 5. Now, The Creator is a movie that a lot of people have really sung praises for. It cost $80 million to make. It's going to lose, well, somewhere between $80 and $90 million probably. Because again, that whole budgeting thing. Anyways, this is something that has been talked about again and again and again when it comes to these movies. One, people not seeing movies as much in theaters, and two, only seeing certain types of things in theaters. The Eras Tour thing kind of makes sense to me. I'm not a Swiftie by any means necessary. I don't think I could pick out a single song she's done other than Shake It Off. And that's because it was played at some like sports arenas and like I heard it a lot. I don't listen to terrestrial radio. I don't listen to top 40 stuff in general, at least not from the last few decades. So yeah, I really don't know, but I know how big she is. I know she's big enough that even the NFL's like, oh, she's in the crowd, let's show her. And I get that. So I understand, but it's ridiculous to me. It's a concert video. I love concert videos. I have several that I bought on physical media, by the way. But I like those in my, I like that where I'm at in my home and whatnot. So, it's a rough thing for movies these days, because going into our next topic, physical media is not a thing anymore. We have Best Buy, and I mean, it still is a thing for right now, but it's not much of a thing. Geez, and I'm reading from Variety on this, but this has been all over the internet. Best Buy to end DVD, Blu-ray disc sales. It is going to happen early in 2024, and they're not just getting rid of them in store, but online too. So that sucks because physical media is super important. Best Buy used to get some cool limited edition or Best Buy exclusive like steel books and things like that. Disney also has been fighting physical media, cutting out physical media releases in Australia, and there's other places that have lost it as well. And that's another revenue stream for films, from physical media rentals, or even digital rentals, to digital purchases and digital rentals. Physical media provided an additional revenue stream and another chance for writers, directors, actors, all these people that you, the consumers, seem to care so much about during these strikes. That was an extra revenue source for them. Those were residuals that could last for a long time and make more, because, you know, $20, $30 on a movie per household goes a lot further than $9.99 shared with everyone. So you get residuals on this movie that was sold. This movie was sold, and you get your residuals on it. But your movie was viewed X amount of times, but how much? What are the statistics? Did people watch it all the way through? Did they stop, come and go back? How many of those views are repeat? Do you see how getting residuals off of streaming can be harder? Plus, most streaming services are still losing money. I won't say most, but many are still losing money. Big ones like Disney and Max still losing money. So how can you really rationalize getting residuals when your content is technically losing money? I don't know. It's one of those weird things where things are more nuanced than people realize, or might even want it to be. And it's not just that, guys. I mean, not just the whole you could support other people, but you could lose your digital library. Amazon straight up in their terms of service says purchased digital content will generally continue to be available for you to download or stream from the service as applicable, but may become unavailable due to potential content provider licensing restrictions or for other reasons. And Amazon will not be liable to you if purchased digital content becomes unavailable. There's been legal things going on with this. This is a couple of years old. You guys might remember, what was it? Final Space, I think, was something that was completely removed from Amazon, and people that lost their digital, library. Oh well. And it's not just Amazon. Sony very famously shut down their media service, and now you can only, as of August 2021, you can only access for video on demand streaming, which means you better have internet access and whatever Sony deems required for you to use the internet on their devices. Physical media, and not to mention streaming services constantly remove content, right? To save a buck, to avoid paying residuals. You can't avoid paying the residuals on the sale of something, right? And games are not immune to this, guys. You might think digital library of games is a solid thing. Look what Nintendo has done for the Wii U, and DS, and all their past stuff too. How many of you have like 4 or 5 copies of the same Nintendo game? Maybe Ocarina of Time or something like that. And, there's a lot of reasons to keep physical media around. There really is. For you, the consumer. Yeah, sure, I know they can take up space, but full quality, limited or no compression, depending on the format that you're watching. I can't tell you how beautiful a true 4K screen makes a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray look. Oh my God. It's phenomenal to see something like Back to the Future or Ghostbusters in true 4K, and not cheap upscaling, not dealing with audio compression or video compression, which causes, anytime there's a chain link fence or some sort of real intricate pattern, to get all that digital noise in it. You can make copies for yourself legally. You can legally copy your physical media. You might have to jump through some hoops to do it, but yes, you can, and you can keep that copy on a disk drive, hard drive, solid state drive, doesn't matter. You can keep that in case of, oh, I don't know, the disc breaks, you lose the disc, it gets all scratched up to where it can't even be repaired, and now you still have a copy that you can watch without the internet. You can even watch it technically without power if you've got a battery backup device, like one of those old portable DVD players or something like that. It can't be taken away. Like, I mean, just, and again, it's so you can own something. I mean, the ability, you might think it's going to be there for forever, but the fact is that it won't be. One day, these companies are going to get broken up, bought out, fail. Something else is gonna change. World geopolitical situations change, and man, you might be left unable to watch your comfort movie as the world falls apart around you, or your comfort series. You can't eat stale popcorn in a bunker watching The Office or whatever. I'll be able to hide out in my bunker. I don't actually have one, but hide out in my bunker eating stale popcorn watching Scrubs. I have the physical discs that I also backed up. Shame on you, Best Buy. It doesn't take a lot of space. It really doesn't. And you have empty shelves as is. Like I go into several Best Buys throughout the year here in my area, and your little line, and yeah, guys, they actually said it was, they'll give us some space to do other things and innovation. You guys already have too much space, and the physical media was not a problem. It wasn't hurting you, and the shipping costs, man, you guys are reading, not you, Best Buy, because I don't think they mentioned this, but people that are like, yeah, shipping and handling, yeah, even manufacturing of plastic discs is not all that. It's nuanced, guys. Anyways, I've been ranting long enough. Let's wrap it up. I appreciate you all checking out the Genreverse YouTube channel, listening on the podcast network. If you are doing that, follow, share, subscribe, leave some comments, help us become better. Check out the merch in the description box below, Redbubble link for us, and of course lrmonline.com every day for all the written news, reviews, celebrity interviews, and more. That's it. Hopefully I see you guys tomorrow. Bye.